It's Side Project Sunday, which means it's a perfect day to get the doors actually hung and swinging on the 41 Willys Hellcat project. These are going to be a suicide set door, so they will actually swing that way instead of forward, and it just makes a really cool option on these cars. It doesn't take any longer, it doesn't take any more skill, it's just a different kind of feature and a different kind of swing, especially for a car this low. It's going to make it really cool. I'm Zach Leber, this is the Laboratory. Let's get to work.
To get started, I like to use this packing paper to make a template of the door jamb itself. I'm going to take and tape it up there and then kind of use the outside of the body line that you can see to the left there to cut it out and get it as close as possible to true fit as I can. Just using a sharp razor blade to cut all the way down. And then I'm going to go in and just kind of dial it into place. A little bit of tape. And I'll just keep kind of shaving it away until I have a really good fit. And you can actually see a line there that I'm going to kind of cut it back to when it's all done. And we'll go through and cut it out and move on to the next portion of this.
This is a piece of 3/4 inch oak that I picked up at the local hardware store. I normally get it in the wider form just so I can get a couple pieces cut off of it. I think it's been like 35 bucks. It's, I want to say 6 foot long. We're going to set our template down on here, map it out, and then we're going to just cut it out with a jigsaw. This is where the CNC router table is going to come into play eventually. I won't have to do this part anymore. It'll just cut 10 of them at one time for me. So let's get started.
So using the template that we cut a little while ago, we're going to tape this down and try and get it as flat as possible so we can get the true cut along the edge. We don't want to oversize this or anything like that, so I'm going to run down it with a marker, and then I'm going to cut on the inside of the marker so it actually like transfers over, because you have to remember that the glass is going to be a little bit thick too on the inside of that jamb. You're looking at about an 1/8 inch at least, so we want to make sure to kind of compensate for that so we don't oversize it too much. Now, don't do what I do and use a jigsaw that has a blade that's like 7 years old. I just use this only for cutting these out, so I don't replace the blade, but I probably should because it would take a lot of time off of the builds.
Here. I'm going to take this, kind of dry fit it in here, see where it hits. Looks like down towards the bottom I need to grind a little bit of material out because it's got some overhang from when I glass the floor in, but overall it's going to fit really nice. Now, the reason that we use the piece of oak in between the hinges is it helps space them out, and it also just adds some more meat in the area around the hinge and the door jamb. It just kind of makes it a little bit more sound. This on the other side to make sure I can just reuse the same pattern, which I'm pretty sure I can. Yeah, it fits in there really nice. So what we'll do is we'll cut a second one of these guys here, and then we will get our fiberall. We'll get these basically glued in, fiberalled in and stuff for today, and then we'll start fitting the hinges and stuff. I don't think I'm going to get the hinges done today, but we'll at least get everything fit and ready to go for next weekend.
Instead of using the template, we're going to go through and use the part itself because we know it fits perfectly, and just going to remember to cut on the inside of the permanent marker line.
Whenever our piece is cut, now we're going to take our grinder and rough up the edges and clean everything up so we can get it glued into the car. To get this guy, to get this piece adhered in here, I'm going to use what's called Fiberall Light. It's insanely strong stuff. Make sure it's where you want it to go. What we'll do is we'll mix up softball, baseball size portion of this, and it'll basically go right along here. This will get squeezed in. basically just get it so everything is nice and tight and squeezed together. Start right on.
I can't stress to you enough how important it is to buy like 100 C-clamps if you're going to build one of these cars, especially the deep jaw style that I have right here. They work great.
And then I want to take and pack my excess back here. We're going to level everything off nice, because when we go in and do the lizard skin, it will just make this part much easier. We have our wood kit installed back here. Now we're going to start getting the door set up. I put a couple paint sticks in the bottom on the rocker there, and then I put one paint stick here to make sure I have enough space to get the striker in place. We don't want to have it too close, and sometimes like I've, in the past I've accidentally set it too far ahead and then I have to go back in and grind. It's not fun. So what we're going to do is come in, set this guy down in here. So it's kind of set in, and she's going to be tight. Like, I know that for sure. But I want it up and back against this guy right here. And then we're going to start taking clamps and getting things clamped up. And we'll go from there. And as we're going to get this door fit up, you're going to see that things are going to move around. That is 100% the idea. We want it to fit against the jamb perfectly. This is why I don't assemble the doors before we ship them out or put them on the cars when we build them at the shop. Just kind of like that. This will get things to start to relax. Relaxing into place where it needs to go now. What I want to do really quick is mark where my pockets are on the wood kit here, because we're going to have to go in and we're going to have to cut this area out for the hinges to pass by. I'm going to have to
we're starting to get into day 2 of the installation here, and right at the end of that video I started not feeling really great, and I ended up getting sick for about 2 weeks, so I had to take a little bit of a hiatus. What we're going to do here is actually mark our hinges and make sure we have enough space for them to go through. Sorry about the heavy breathing, but we're just going to use our permanent marker and our dial there to make sure that we are perfectly straight, and that way we follow the line so we don't have any excess cuts for no reason. I use the tape to make sure that I can see my line perfectly as I come through with my hacksaw. You're going to see 2 different lines actually, because I'm going to do one straight down and then one kind of angled, so it has kind of a built-in stopper for the hinges themselves. My pneumatic hacksaw here is dying. I probably kill about one of these things a year. Luckily with Snap-on I can just turn it in and have them fix it. I think it normally costs like 40 bucks or something like that, but I do destroy them, and yeah, it's on its last leg here. Now, being that it is a suicide door, I do have to go in and modify the hinges a little bit. Right here, I'm just drilling my portholes so that way I can bolt it through the jamb and into the actual hinge itself, so it makes everything one. And we're going to cut the hinge down, and basically cutting 3 inches out of the hinge, it makes it so I can kind of manipulate it a little bit better and get my angle correct, because the way the door has to open is a little bit different than the normal swing. So we have the door somewhat bolted into place. At this point, we're going to test and see if we can get it open. It is going to open kind of hard because I have the paint sticks in there still. You can see the lower ones and the ones that I have taped onto the door itself. But I was actually able to achieve about a 90-degree swing on this, which is awesome. It makes it super easy to get in and out of. I'm really happy with it. Here we're going to be using one of these countersink drill bits to drill our holes into. That way we have nothing that can impede the hinge or the door as it closes. I could bore you guys with doing the other side as well, but I don't really see a point. The process is exactly the same and the result's the same, except it just swings the opposite direction.
Whew. Now, it's a lot of work, I'm not going to lie to you. But it's possible for you to do this at home in your own garage using your own tools. Now, I do have a lot of tools that are geared specifically for fiberglass work, but you can go to Harbor Freight and buy a lot of this stuff. There's a video from a couple years ago where I went through a very long ordeal of different tools and things that would make your life a lot easier if you wanted to build one of these cars. You're obviously going to need a couple things. You're going to need a fiberglass package from Scott Rod's Custom Hot Rods and Fiberglass. You're going to need door hinges that we also supply at Scott Rod's and the laboratory. You're going to need some oak. The 3/4 inch oak that we use for spacers. The reason I use that is it doesn't crush down as we start applying pressure to the oak itself and putting the bolts into place. If you take your time and you just think through a lot of this stuff and also use my videos as reference on how to do this, you can put one of these cars together relatively easily in your spare time at home. It's going to take you some time. You have to have the patience to do it and the want to do it. You will save a lot of money by doing it yourself. On another note, we are making some serious progress on the Hellcat Willys. This thing is coming out really cool. Having the suicide doors, having everything kind of starting to function and stuff, that's like the rewarding part about this business to me. I spend all week doing it, and then I actually do it in my spare time as well. I just really enjoy putting them together and working through the problems and figuring out how to make it work and just seeing the finished product. The fact that we're to the point to where the doors are swinging now is really exciting because the car starts taking form and you start kind of seeing the character of it. I mean, we have a freaking Hellcat motor in here. It's cool as shit. We have beautiful Riddler wheels. We have an awesome chassis underneath it. And we have a really cool base as a Scott Rod's KingPin body. You can't get any sweeter than that. If you're ever interested in doing something like this, like I said, use my videos as reference. Use Google, use us. I mean, check our website out. Check scottrodscustom.com. Eventually, the laboratory will have a website as well. I'm trying to work on that when I actually get time. But other than that, you can do this.
You can do it. It's just going to take some time. If you learned anything from this video today, if you liked the video, please click the little thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel for me. It's really going to help me out. I'm trying to grow this channel so people can be a little bit more informed about what actually goes into building a fiberglass car. They take a lot of work and a lot of effort, and you have to be ready for it. I've been doing this for 17 years at this point, and I still hit walls with them. Use this video or use all of my videos as references on how to build one yourself, and this is actually going to slowly turn into a online direction manual on how to put our cars together. Make sure to check out ScottRodsCustom.com. Call the shop at 419-499-2705. Check out the laboratory. I'm setting up the Instagram, all that stuff. And until that next time, I'm Zach Leber. This is the laboratory. Go build something. See you guys.
Oh yeah, get it real hot. Oh.
Put that in.
That's what she said. Didn't see that there. Where's, oh, right by my big fat ass.
And scene.